Ready?
Hi everyone, thank you for coming to this Otago meetup. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Today I'm going to be talking about another one of our PAL units. This is our PAL Brix Acid 6, specifically for measuring the Brix and acidity of bananas. So I have a banana here, and I will show you how to zero set and then take the measurements for the Brix and the acid of the banana. So I just want to go over the components of this unit. So you can see clearly here, this is the PAL Brix Acid 6, like I said, for bananas. This unit will actually come with a few different things. It'll come with the main unit, so this, what you see right here. It will also come with 2 AAA batteries, an instruction manual, a digital scale, as well as a beaker, a plastic beaker, and a measuring spoon. So these are all the components that will come in this PAL Brix Acid 6 kit. Everything you need to measure the Brix and acidity of bananas. So just some quick tips to know. This instrument, like I said, measures Brix and acidity. For this unit though, you're going to do a 1:50 ratio for measuring acidity of bananas. You're just going to dilute the sample in purified water or tap water and then take your measurements that way. To perform zero setting, there's actually 2 ways to do that, one for Brix and then one for acid. So to start off, we're going to turn the unit on. You do that just by pressing the start button right here. And your unit will turn on. LLL just means no sample is on the prism yet. So to start off and prepare your unit for the day, you're going to want to zero set before initial use. Each time you're using the instrument, each time you replace the batteries, just to make sure that the unit is functioning properly and working correctly and giving you the most accurate readings. So to start, we're going to zero set for acid. To zero set for acid, you're going to do that with just air. You don't need anything on the prism. Just make sure that the prism is clean of any sample, past sample you were using. So we're just going to do that really quick. Make sure it's nice and clean. Just press some water like this. Just enough to make sure that you're getting all the sample off. Make sure it's clean, because like I said, you're gonna zero set for acidity just using air. Alright, so it's nice and clean, and we're going to press 0, which is on the right hand side of the unit, and there you go. So if you can see there, it is now 0 set for acid. Right. Once you have 0 set for acidity, you're going to 0 set with water for the Brix. So let me see this. Alright, so we're going to pour a little bit of water, and you can use purified or tap water to 0 set for this tool for the Brix. And once we have our water on there, we're going to press the 0 set one more time. See if we can get in the light. Okay, perfect. So now it is 0 set for Brix. Okay, so once you have 0 set the unit, you can start your measurements. This means the instrument is working properly, correctly, and we should have no issues measuring our sample. So we're going to just Just clean the unit like that. Alright, so for acidity, we're going to want to dilute. Like I said, it's 1:50 ratio for our acidity. So that is why this unit comes with the scale as well as the beaker and measuring spoon. So we're going to take our scale. You can see, okay, and you're going to take your beaker and you're gonna want to turn the unit on, and buttons right here. Alright, and then you're gonna want to place the beaker on the scale, and then make sure you're zeroing it out by pressing this right here. See? One second. It's probably because the table is moving a little bit. Press one more time. There we go. So just make sure you have a nice flat surface. I was moving the table a little bit, so that is probably what that was. Just make sure that you have a nice flat surface that is not moving when you're using the scale. And so we're going to make our dilution now. So you're going to take 1 gram of sample. So I have the banana right here. Gonna scoop, and you can also do this with fruit juice as well. It's gonna be the same dilution ratio, 1:50 grams. So 1 gram of juice or sample, 50 grams, 40 grams of water to equal 50 grams total. So we're just gonna put that in there. Okay, almost. See if we can get it as close as possible to 1 gram. Right. Perfect. Okay, we got our 1 gram of sample in the cup, and now we're going to pour purified or tap water to get the scale to read 50 grams total. Close as we can to 50 without going over. Okay, a little bit over. Let's see if we can. And you can take, if you go a little bit over with this, you can just take a tissue and just go like that. You should be able to get pretty close to what you want. Oh, took a little too much. Get it. All right, that's pretty close to what we want. I think that's 50.2. Okay, that is pretty close. Okay, so we're just gonna leave it like that. And then once you get your sample into the water, you're gonna wanna mix it super well, making sure you get everything mixed in nice and evenly for when we take our acidity measurements. So you can just kind of break it up and mix it in. And the spoon does a pretty good job of doing that as well. Some of our other units we have our Brix Acid are for blueberries, tomatoes, peach, strawberry, what else? Tomatoes, grapes, cherries, apple. We have Brix Acid kits for a variety of different fruits. These kits are also really great for measuring fruit juices, like I said before. And if you haven't tried one yet, we really do recommend you trying it out and compare it to what you're currently using. If you're currently using anything, these kits are really just a great tool to have on hand, since they can dually measure the Brix and the acidity levels of your samples. Right. I also want to mention, if you are measuring acidity and you've pre-made your solution, we do recommend making it right when you're going to be using it, because water does tend to evaporate. So if you are making your mixture and letting it sit overnight, there's potential for some of the water and liquid to evaporate, which could cause maybe give you an off reading. So we do recommend that if you are going to be doing this, to mix and then use it in a couple hours, and not leave it overnight, just because of the evaporation that happens with water. Just a little just some important facts to know when doing this. Right, that is pretty mixed, so I'm just gonna let that sit for a second and let the particles break apart a little bit more. So for measuring Brix for this unit, you're going to want to clean the sensor again, like I mentioned, making sure there's no previous sample on the prism. And then you're going to want to apply some of your sample undiluted. So I'm just going to put some banana on the prism. Like I said, if you're doing it with fruit juice, you can just put the sample directly onto the prism, and no dilution is necessary for measuring the Brix when using this unit. Alright, so I'm gonna take, and also make sure to let your sample sit out a little bit so that it is pretty much close to room temperature, or the same temperature as the prism in sample stage, just because if it's a little colder, it could give you an off rating as well. So just make sure you're not taking your product or samples directly out of the fridge and then using them. The banana's a little cold. It has been sitting out for quite a while, but it is still a little cold, so we're just gonna let it acclimate a little bit so they're about the same temperature. What's this? All right. Just to go over while we're letting that acclimate, just for error messages, if you see LO, that just means the battery is low, and to just replace the battery right here, this is the battery cap. You can simply just insert a like a penny or a quarter, anything really, just like change, and you can just twist and this will pop off. Stick your batteries in here and then twist back on. Just make sure you are twisting it on pretty tightly, just so the no sample or liquids are leaking and corroding the battery compartment. Just something important to know when doing that. Alright, now we can go ahead and see if it'll give us a stable reading, if it's acclimated enough. Alright, so you can see there, we got our Brix reading for this banana. Okay. And if you were to press the start button again, it would give you the acidity, but because we don't have our mixture, because acidity needs to be measured by dilution, it won't give you a reading for that one. Alright. And the HHH, if it is saying that, just like it is right now, it just means that the sample measured is outside the measurement range. So like I mentioned, for acidity, you do need to dilute. That's just something important. If you're seeing this reading for acidity and you're not diluting, that is the reason. All right. So now that we have our Brix reading, we're going to press it one more time just so it's only showing the Brix measurement. All right. Perfect. And we will wipe the sample off and add on our mixture. Clean the prism. And to clean the prism, we do recommend using lint-free, just little cloths when you do this, just so it's not scratching or damaging the sample stage of the prism. Okay, just like that. Make sure all the sample is cleaned out. And now we're just going to add our dilution. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna press the start button. All right. You can see that. I'm gonna try not to spill it. So we have our Brix reading at the very top, the 21.8, I believe is what that says, and then 0.22 for our acidity reading. And this is for our banana. Just like that. Alright, so pretty easy, very simple unit to use. I just want to mention also, this R right here will give you the ratio, the Brix, so sugar acid ratio will display when you press the R button. This will just show the sugar and acidity ratio. So sugar and acidity. Let's press the R just like that. And I will do it without spilling. I'll try if we can get it. Okay. So that is the ratio that you will get. Perfect. Alright. So kind of multi-use unit. If you're just wanting to measure Brix, this can do it. If you just want to measure acidity, this unit can do that as well, but it is really great for measuring both. That is why this unit is so popular, because of its capabilities to duly measure both the Brix, acidity, and then do the ratio as well. Like I mentioned, this unit is also, we have it for tomatoes, strawberries, blueberries, kiwi, grapes, cherries, so kind of apples as well. This unit kind of is capable of doing a variety of different fruits. This is our banana one, and if you are currently using a different method for measuring your Brix or acidity, we do recommend that you try our units at least to compare to what you're currently using, because we know you will not be disappointed. If you have any questions at all, you can always feel free to reach out. We will always be more than happy to help assist you. So I'm just going to clean this off. Right. And I just want to go over one more thing. If you want to test your unit as well for acidity, you can purchase our reference solution. This is a citric acid solution of 0.04. This can be purchased through our website. Let's see if we can get the light. There we go. So it's just a solution to measure for acidity, but also really quick. So some of these samples that we're going to be using are going to be kind of messy. So like the banana could get into the crevices. We do not recommend using metal for these tools, but if you're having trouble getting around the crevices, you can take a Q-tip and just clean like that. Q-tips are completely acceptable just to clean and make sure you're getting all of the sample out. So just another important thing to note. If you're having difficulty with your cloth, your lint-free cloths, you can use a Q-tip as well. Right, nice and clean. Alright, so now we will kind of reference with our reference solution. This is going to be part number RE-1300004 for the citric solution of 0.04%. So to do that, you're going to want to just clean the prism like we have done. You're going to want to press the on button. Alright, and then you're going to press the 0 with nothing on it, just with 0 sets for acid. Perfect. Once you have done that, you're going to just simply apply the solution to the prism. You don't need a lot, just enough to cover about 0.3 milliliters. Alright, just like that. And then you're going to want to press the start button 2 times, because the first measurement will do it for Brix, which we don't need. Press start again. Alright, and we have 0.38, which is perfectly fine. The reference solution will measure, the measurement range is plus or minus 0.1 for this. So it is right in that range. As long as you're keeping it in that range, it is completely fine and your unit is working properly. So just another important factor just to know if you are wanting to check your acidity, you can purchase our reference solutions for this unit. If you have any questions about doing that, you can also contact us here at Otago USA. All right. Okay, and then if you want to reference set, you press the start and 0 together, and it'll show the CCC. So you're just going to apply the reference solution, turn the instrument on, press start and 0 simultaneously, and it'll give you the CCC. Just like that. So that is acid calibration. Press it again. Okay, just like that. Okay, just a couple other things to mention for this. Does have an offset function. Just important to know, most of our PAL units do have that offset function. So basically discrepancies with titration can be due to the difference in measurement principles. So readings from the instrument may not match up exactly with the readings by titration for certain samples. However, you can do a correlation, and that offset function is also part of that. Also, just so if you have never used one of our meters before, Brix represents the weight of sucrose in 100 grams of sucrose solution as a percentage by weight. And when other dissolved solids are present in the solution, Brix conversion is applied. Brix is basically the measurement of total dissolved solids in a solution. It indicates the combined concentration of all soluble substances such as sugar, salt, protein, and acids. So that is Brix in a nutshell. For acid, this unit measures and determines the acidity through electrical conductivity. And so malic acid is the primary acid found in bananas. So that is the primary acid found in bananas specifically. So this instrument measures the total acidity in the sample and converts it into malic acid concentration. So that's just a little background of this specific unit in terms of its use for bananas. This instrument also has ATC, which is automatic temperature compensation. This feature is based on temperature detected by the thermosensor located near the sensor area. And ATC may not work correctly if the temperature of the sensor area is not the same as the actual temperature of the sample, like I mentioned. So if you are using a sample which needs to be refrigerated, maybe like juice or something that has dairy in it, but if you are refrigerating your samples, make sure to take them out or at least let them warm up before you are using this instrument to measure. If you're having issues, that could be a reason and just an easy fix. Just making sure that they're acclimated together to be about the same temperature when you're measuring. So also for this unit, just a couple things. So this instrument is warranted for 1 year from the date of purchase. And if you register it, you can be warranted for up to 2 years. So just some important little background information. Like I mentioned, if you are wanting to try this unit or any of our Brix Acid units, please feel free to contact us. We will be more than happy to send you a demo just so you can compare to what you are currently using. If you're using titration method, this is a great tool to kind of switch over from that kind of old-fashioned method to using a digital way of measuring your samples. Super easy, super lightweight. It has a lanyard hole right here so you can carry it around your office or your lab. So super simple, easy tool to use. Highly recommend this unit. Thank you guys so much for joining this meetup. Please follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channels, and we will be back next week for more topics. Thanks so much, guys.